and welcome to this Warrior Wake Up Yoga Flow. So this is a very slow flow for the morning. This is when we've just woken up, we just want to move our body so that we're set up for the rest of the day. So I want you to move as if you're like just going through honey. So imagine there's just thick runny honey everywhere, and we just want to move really slowly. So moving through honey, a super slow flow. Okay, so let's start in a child's pose. So we want to start in a wide leg child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as the mat, toes to touch. And then just press these sit bones back down to your heels. Forehead comes onto the mat. And just breathe here. So with this flow, we're going to open and stretch every part of the body. So starting here with the hips. And then just come onto your fingertips. So starting to stretch into the armpits here. And lifting up your head. Just going to sway from side to side. So really gently waking up here, so we don't want to move too fast. So you're kind of swaying into one hip then the other, feeling the opening on each side. And then starting to walk your hands underneath your shoulders, coming up right. And then moving into a tabletop. So here we're going to wake up the spine. So you want to inhale into our cat and cow. So looking up, drop the belly, tailbone points up in your cow pose. And then exhale round the spine in your cat pose. Inhale, tailbone lifts, looking up, belly drops. And then exhale, press into your cat pose, press away from the yoga mat. Create space in between the vertebrae. And then inhale, looking up, tailbone points up. And then exhale to round, this time dropping all the way back into a child's pose. So sit bones come towards the heels. And then inhale, lifting up, looking up, tailbone points up. And then one more, rounding down into your child's pose. And then coming back to our tabletop neutral spine. So we want to tuck the toes here, just stretch gently through the backs of the feet. Before we find our foundation and press up into a downward facing dog. We want to pedal the feet here, it's the first down dog of the day. So pedal the feet, one heel then the other coming towards the mat. You could bend your knees, twist from side to side. So whatever feels good for you in the morning, waking up, stretching out. And then we're going to inhale, ripple forward into a plank. Then bend the knees and then wave back up into our downward facing dog, pressing the tailbone up to the ceiling, chest towards the thighs. Rounding. So inhale, ripple forward. And then exhale, bend the knees, press the tailbone back up into your downward facing dog. So rolling the shoulders away from the ears, press out of your wrists, out of your shoulder blades, out of the armpits. And then inhale, look in between your hands. I'm going to very gently, all these movements as if we're moving through honey. And then fold down in your Uttanasana. So grab opposite arms with opposite elbows. You're going to sway from side to side. So letting gravity pull your head towards the ground, creating space in your spine, in between the vertebrae. So shake your head no, nod your head yes, everything is loose. And then just stretching the back of the legs here very gently. And dropping the hands with an exhale, we're going to inhale, draw a line as slowly as we can, up the legs, coming up to standing as slowly as we can, stacking the spine, and then the head is the last to arrive. So tucking the chin, looking down, we're going to roll down again. So this time drawing your line down the legs, folding vertebrae by vertebrae until we come down to your toes. Stay here for a breath. And then we're going to inhale, rolling back up. Drawing that line up the legs. Just allowing the spine to gently straighten until we come all the way up to standing. And then when we're in our Tadasana mountain pose, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, hands face forward. Gently tuck the tailbone. And then we want to just lift our shoulders up to the ears and let them drop. Inhale, lifting up to the ears. Exhale, let them drop. Want to drop the ear to the right shoulder. And gently roll the neck down. Just chin comes to chest. And then inhaling up to the right, so the left side. And then exhale, dropping the chin down, allowing a stretch at the back of the neck, releasing the tension here. Then inhale, up to your right shoulder, bring the head to the center. And then inhale, we're going to reach the arms all the way up. And you want to grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull your arm out of your waist and then bend over to the right. So creating this lovely bend in the side body. And inhale back to center. Remember that we're moving through honey. Lifting both arms up, reach your left hand, grab your right wrist, reaching up and bending over to the left. Enjoying the stretch. And then inhale, we're coming back to center. Exhale, drop the hands. So shifting the weight onto the left leg. Now we're going to pick up the right knee, give it a hug in towards the chest, and just roll your ankle. Just a few ankle rolls here. And then bringing your hands to your waist, keep rolling the ankle, so just using a bit more stability here. And then we're going to flex the foot, and then kicking all the way back to the back of the mat, lifting into a high lunge here. So really gently, as if you're moving through treacle. Oh, honey. And then we're going to exhale, frame the front foot, come into standing position here, and then just lift the right leg back into your standing splits. And then exhale, step to the back of the mat as slowly as you can, lifting back up into a high lunge, and just stepping to the front of the mat here. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. And then we're going to pick up the left leg, so putting your weight into the right leg, flexing the foot, and then we're having little ankle rolls here. And bring your hands to your hips, creating stability. Keep rolling the ankle and bring it to stillness. We're going to lean all the way back. Step to the back of the mat as if you're walking, moving through honey. Inhale, lift the arms into your high lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot, step the back foot in halfway, and then lift up into your standing splits on the other side. So inhale, lengthens your spine, and then exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, and nose towards the knee. And we're going to exhale, step to the back of the mat. Inhale, rising up through the honey, and then springing off the back foot, coming back to standing, and then exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, and then we're going to roll down again, so bring your feet hip width apart, inhale, exhale, drawing the line down the legs, creating fluidity in the spine. Then when you're down, we're going to plant the hands, step one foot back and then the other, coming into our downward facing dog. So pressing the tailbone up to the ceiling, chest comes towards the thighs. And then we're going to inhale, ripple forward into a plank. Drop the knees and drop all the way down with an exhale onto your belly. And then we're going to bring our hands wide outside of the mat, so fingertips onto the ground. And then we're going to inhale with a ripple effect, ripple up into our cobra. So inhale, lifting the head. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Head comes up. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lifting. Exhale to lower. And then bring your hands underneath the shoulders, elbows in towards the ribs. Tuck your toes and press up through a child's pose into your downward facing dog. And breathe here, pressing your chest towards your thighs. And then with an exhale, we're going to drop the knees, coming into a tabletop again. So inhale, we're going to lift the right leg, and then exhale, we're going to step to the front of the mat. So inhale, we're going to lean forward into our Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And then exhale, lean back, pivot on the heel into our half split. And then inhale, ripple forward into the low lunge. Exhale, press back into your half split. Inhale, come forward, plant the hands, pick up the back knee, and now we're in a runner's lunge. And then we're going to exhale, press back into a wide pyramid pose. So straighten the front leg as much as you can. And then exhale forward into the runner's lunge. Exhale, press back into your wide pyramid pose. And then inhale, moving forward. Back knee comes down. And then come back into your tabletop. So coming to that on the other side. So bring your left leg out long, toes touching the mat. And then with an exhale, we're going to swing our foot on the inside. So inhale, press forward, hips are low, fingertips on the mat into our low lunge. And then exhale, press back into our Ardha Hanuman half split. Inhale, pressing forward into the low lunge. Exhale, pressing the hips back. Inhale, come forward. Plant the hands, pick up the back knee into our runner's lunge. So coming onto the fingertips. Inhale, chest is shining forward. And then exhale, we're coming into our wide pyramid stance. So straightening the front leg. Inhale, up into the runner's lunge. Exhale, back into your wide pyramid. Both legs straight. Inhale forward. Plant the hands, drop the back knee. And we're coming back into our tabletop position. So with an inhale, we're going to reach the right leg behind. And this time we're going to step to the outside of the right hand. So a little bit easier. And we're coming into our lizard pose here. So just move gently back and forward in your lizard pose. Opening out into the right hip. And then bring your right hand to the inside of the leg. Just look over your right shoulder and press the leg gently away, not too far. Just creating a stretch on the inner thigh. And then inhale, coming back to center. Plant both palms and stepping back into our tabletop. And then extending the left leg out long. Again, we're going to step to the outside, both hands. And then just move into our lizard. So find a comfortable position where you're feeling that stretch on the hip flexor, the inner thigh. And then just bringing your left hand to the inside of your thigh. Look over your left shoulder. Press the leg gently away, just until you can feel a stretch, but no further. And then inhale, come back to center. Plant both the hands on the mat. And then come back into your tabletop. And then we're going to walk back into our child's pose. Releasing the lower back. Bring your tailbone towards your heels. You can rock gently from side to side if that feels good. Or if you want to give your shoulders a rest, you can bring your arms alongside the body. So whatever feels good for you in the morning, whatever you need to stretch. And then we're going to start to walk the hands back in towards the body. And come to our hero's pose. So sitting on top of the heels. And then we want to just gently lean back here. So chest is open and towards the ceiling. You might feel quite a sort of deep stretch on the front of your thighs. That's the bit we're stretching here. Into the quads. And then when you're ready, come back up to seated. And then we're just going to swing the legs round. And coming forward into our Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So bring the soles of the feet together. And then with your hands, open your feet like a book. Bring your elbows to the inside of your knees. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, draw your nose towards your heels. Just whatever feels good here. Again, we're just opening the hips, so not too deep a stretch. And inhale, coming back up to centre. We're going to bring the right leg out long, bring the left sole of the foot into the right thigh. Just twist over your right leg now and inhale, reaching up out of your waist. Exhale, fold over your leg. Grab whatever feels good, shin, ankle, toes. And with an inhale, we're lengthening the spine. And with an exhale, draw your nose gently towards your knee. Inhale, reaching up. And then bringing, with an exhale, your left palm behind your back. We're going to reach the right arm along the right leg. And we're going to sweep up into our half wild thing. But doing this as slowly as we can. We're still moving through our honey. So creating a C shape, we're going to sweep up. So with an inhale, sweeping up and then leaning gently backwards, gazes to the top hand, opening up the whole front of the body. Breathe here, and then exhale, sweeping down the way we came in. And then bringing the sole of the left foot onto the mat. Just going to hop it over the leg. And then bringing your left fingertips behind again, but we're not putting any weight into this hand. We're going to inhale, reach up out of the waist, and then exhale, bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, twisting, looking over your left shoulder, making sure we're twisting from the torso, not the neck. With each inhale, you lengthen. With each exhale, you deepen the twist. So then inhaling back to centre, both legs out long, give them a shake. And then bringing the right sole of the foot into the left thigh, we're going to twist over the left leg. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Noticing how this side is different. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, draw the nose towards the knee. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the hands. Bringing the right palm behind this time, left arm along the left leg. We're going to create our C shape, sweeping up into our half wild thing. So inhale, sweeping up and over. Gazes to the top hand. Full body stretch across the front body. Breathing here. This should feel really good in the morning. And then exhale, sweeping back down the way we came in. And then bringing the right sole of the foot onto the mat, hop it over. Right fingertips coming behind. The foot on the floor is flexed. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bring your elbow to the outside of the knee. And then twist to look over the right shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to deepen the twist. Making sure there's no weight in the back hand, you can lift it off the mat. And inhale back to centre. Both legs are out long. And then we're going to bring the feet onto the mat. Bringing the arms out long. Just a gentle bit of core control. Lowering all the way down. Your own time, as slow as we can, onto the mat and onto our backs. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. And then dropping the arms into a cactus shape either side of the head. With an exhale, we're going to drop the knees over to the right. Gaze comes to the left hand. Breathe along the length of the spine. Enjoying the twist here. And inhale, bring the legs back through centre. Exhale, drop into the left. Gaze comes to the right hand. Again, noticing if this side feels any different. We're not noticing in judgment. We're just observing. And inhale, your knees back through centre. Give yourself a hug. Rock gently from side to side. And then just allow your legs to drop out long onto the mat into your Shavasana. Your resting pose where your body can take in the benefits of your practice. If it feels good, you can bring your soles of your feet together and come into a reclined butterfly. So opening up the hips a bit more. See how that feels. It's the morning, so we don't want to go too far in the stretches, but it can be nice just to open this bit out before we get in our cars, go to our desks, whatever it is we're doing for the rest of the day. But if you want full relaxation, legs out long, flopping out to the side. Relax your forehead. Relax your jaw, relax your neck and your shoulders, relax your hips. With each exhale, you're going to sink deeper into the mat. Let go of any thoughts here. You can come back to them after the practice. After your Shavasana. Concentrate on your breath, all the sounds in the room. Depending on how much time you have, you can pause the video, stay in Shavasana, using this time to reflect on the day ahead. Maybe set an intention for your day, just one. something you want to achieve, or a feeling or an emotion or a state of being that you'd like to achieve for the day. And if you're ready to come out, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Bring your arms overhead and give yourself a full body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. And gently rock from side to side here. Roll onto your right side. And come into the fetal position for a couple of breaths. You can use your arm as a pillow, feeling supported by the ground. And then when you're ready, you can use your hand to gently press you up into a seated position. Crossing your legs, spine is tall, shoulders away from the ears, gently tucking the chin. And bring your hands to prayer at heart centre. You can thank yourself for just taking the time this morning to move your body, create space in your joints and your spine, and also in your mind. So by going through your moving meditation, you've calmed the mind, ready for the day ahead. So now if anything is challenging, you're coming from a position of calm rather than starting the day chaotic. And then just bringing your thumbs to your third eye for wisdom. We bow and say, Namaste. Thank you. I hope that was a nice morning flow for you. Nothing too strenuous, but something that you can just come back to, or once you've done it a few times, you can just do your own variation, the things that really sort of feel good and just set you up for the day. So thank you very much for joining me. See you again.